to the world.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, and welcome to all our viewers. It is Wednesday, 15th July 2026, and you are viewing Tobago updates right here, downtown Scarborough, Tobago, at the Port Mall. It is Youth Wednesday. My name is Tanisha Cupid, and it is a pleasure to be with you this morning. Now, a lot has been going on in the Tobago space and even within Trinidad and Tobago, and I am here this morning to bring you up to speed on everything that is happening. I mean, we have a lot to talk about, and before I even go any further, I would like to let you know what is happening in the news. So, we are going straight into the news in 90 seconds. Tobago bids a final farewell to legendary soca star Oscar B. Calypso icon Calypso Rose receives high honors at New York's Lincoln Center. CUSTAT opens its doors to prospective students in Scarborough, and a nationwide manhunt continues on day 13 for an escaped prisoner. Your news in 90 seconds starts now for Wednesday, July 15th, 2026. On Monday, July 13th, hundreds of mourners braved rainy weather at Faith Assembly International to pay their final respects to Tobagonian music icon Oscar Benjamin, globally celebrated as Oscar B. The former lead singer of Byron Lee and Dragonaires was remembered by family, friends, and fellow musicians as a true cultural ambassador who brought the raw energy of his island home to stages worldwide. Over in the United States, Bethel's very own Calypso Rose was honored in New York City at the Lincoln Center, hosted by the Caribbean Cultural Center African Diaspora Institute. Their free 50th anniversary event celebrated Rose's pioneering career, marking a historic full-circle moment when the Calypso icon performed at the Institute's inaugural 1984 Carnival event. Meanwhile, in Scarborough, academic opportunities were front and center yesterday as the CUSTAT Tobago campus hosted its 2026 Open Day at the Port Mall, featuring same-day registration and approval. Prospective students explored specialized tracks in tourism, the School of Journalism, and nursing. Finally, the search enters day 13 for 44-year-old murder-accused South resident Robbie Kedu, who escaped custody since July 3rd from the Arima Health Facility. The multi-agency manhunt continues as authorities remind citizens that harboring or assisting an escaped prisoner is a serious criminal offense. Tune in for the full newscast at 6:30 p.m. So we had a lot going on in the news, and we continue to express our condolences, and we keep the family of Oscar B in prayer during this difficult time. You know, that is really a sad thing, and it is something that we can never really get used to. And so we really keep that family in prayer. We have birthdays today, and I really want to tell persons this is a beautiful month of July. And if you are celebrating, we really want you to share it with us so we too can celebrate with you. This morning we have Angela Campbell, and we want to say happy birthday to Angela. We want to wish you God's blessings today. And as you go through this brand new year, we want to tell you that we hope that you walk in newness, that everything really goes your way, and that today as you have your little cake, your little ice cream, you remember Tobago updates, because we are sending you the best wishes right here. As I said before, don't hesitate to send those happy moments, because we want to celebrate with you. And it's not just birthdays. You can send us anniversary greetings, graduation pics. We are still accepting those. So send them our way. Now, you all know that we're in World Cup season, and a lot went on yesterday. I was just hearing the buzz through social media. And in hearing the buzz, I know that we have a whole lot to talk about this morning. So, who else to bring us up to speed than the man himself, Marcus Daniel?
Hi, Tis. Good morning, and good morning to viewers of Tobago Updates Television. And yesterday, a lot happened yesterday. France versus Spain. It was touted to be the final before the real final.
I heard so.
What we saw yesterday was a complete. So I say complete. It was a one-sided affair with Spain dominating the game to come away with a 2-0 victory.
Marcus, was that something that was expected? Was that expected?
No, definitely not. I mean, if you have been following the World Cup, France, they have been the most threatening team in front of goal. They have scored 16 goals prior to yesterday's game. And even before the World Cup, a lot of pundits gave them the title with the likes of Mbappe and Dembele and Olise in their squad. A lot of persons expected France to put up a much better performance than they did yesterday.
I heard so.
Yeah. There's a saying that offense wins you games, but defense wins you championships. And so far in this World Cup, Spain, they have been very, very stingy with their goal. They have only conceded 1 goal and scored 13. So they are very strong in defense, and if it is that they have the ball, they hold on to the ball, and they frustrated France yesterday in the midfield, and they took their opportunities. They got a penalty to start, and then they scored a wonderful goal to go up 2-0, and they maintained that impressive record without conceding. So 13 goals Spain would have scored and conceded 1, and they are looking, I don't want to say like world champions and blight them, because the fans of Spain, they will come and say I'm a blight. But yesterday's game, it was the 3rd consecutive game that they would have defeated France. In the Nations Cup, they defeated France 5-4. In the European Cup in 2024, they defeated France 2-1. So they got into the game with some confidence.
Spain is proven to be France's Achilles heel. I mean,
yeah.
I know that a lot of French fans were stressed out yesterday. They were stressed, Marcus.
They were very, very stressed. I mean, I saw some actually crying. They don't even cry when the dog is missing, but they're crying for a football match. But that's the nature of the sport, yes?
That's right.
That's the nature of the sport. So congratulations to the Spaniard. I mean, back in 2010 when they last won the title, they were also holders of the European Cup. So, I mean, history can repeat itself in 2026. And I look ahead at today's game, another mouth-watering affair. And these two teams are all rivalries. France and England, it doesn't get better than this whatsoever.
Argentina and England.
Argentina and England.
I'm keeping up. I'm keeping up. That's all right.
Argentina and England. They have met 5 times before today's match. Today's match is going to be the 6th contest between England and Argentina. England, they have the edge. They have the edge with 3 wins. Argentina won, and a game would have ended in a tie. But the most famous match between these two teams, I mean, those who have been following football over World Cup football all over the years since 1930, that match of 1986. Where the hand of God. I'm sure you have heard about the hand of God. I'm sure you have heard about the hand of God. Diego Maradona. Yes, and in that same match, he scored the goal of the century, where he took like 11 touches and 11 seconds to score in that match against England. They have some bad blood between these two teams. David Beckham, he was sent off in 1998, and of course, Argentina went on to win that match. After the match ended 2 goals apiece, and then Argentina won on penalties. But David Beckham got some revenge in 2002, where he scored the winning goal in a group match. So today's match, both teams are in form in front of goal. They have both conceded 6 goals. Argentina, they are the team with the most goals in the tournament with 17, and England, they have scored 13 goals so far. So they have both scored goals and conceded goals. Of course, players to watch today for England is going to be Jude Bellingham and Sir Harry Kane. And of course, for Argentina, it's going to be the man with the most appearances ever in a men's World Cup, 32 appearances, and he has the record for the most goals in World Cup history. The guy they call Lionel Messi.
And he has been in ripping form, Marcus.
And so far, he has 8 goals. Yes, indeed. So far, he has 8 goals so far in this year's World Cup. He is joined with Mbappe. Mbappe still will have an opportunity to match or to go past the 8 goals because he will have to play 3rd place on Saturday. So today's game, I've often given my prediction in terms of who's going to win, but I really can't say. Majority of the pundits are saying it's going to be either a 1-0 victory or it's going to be a game ending in extra time in both teams' favor. A lot of bad blood in today's game, a lot of talent. Who's going to join Spain in Sunday's final in the MetLife Stadium? Let's enjoy the football, tease.
All right, okay, thank you, Marcus. It is sounding very exciting. And what time can we be watching this match for those who know trying to catch up? What time to look out for this
match?
Game?
Today's match starts at 3 p.m. For those who are working for the Tobago Assembly, you still have an hour to give before you leave. Please don't run away from the people who work. Yes, please don't run away from the people who work. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Marcus. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Put all or some of your dividends on your shares and get up to 3 times the amount. Your loan would be extended to maintain the same installment. Promotion runs June 23rd to August 31st. Think, plan, save.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships. It's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Welcome back to all our viewers, and a lot to look forward to today. Marcus would have brought us up to speed, and he even gave a little warning. You know, if you have to work, you need to put in that little half an hour, that hour to half an hour before you get into the World Cup. Yeah, but apart from the football, we have a lot in store for you. So we have the CEO and the PRO of Women Breaking Boxes International, and we are speaking about a very serious topic, breaking the silence, and we're speaking about hurting and wounded women in romantic relationships. And so we're looking forward to hearing about this because it is an important topic and we really want to touch on that this morning. And then on a lighter note, how about a pet for the holiday? Yeah, all the children who are saying, Mommy, Daddy, we want a pet. And we'll be talking to veterinarian Dr. Paul Crooks. And we're going to talk about being a responsible pet owner during the holidays. And so it's something that you want to stay tuned to. You want to find out how to take care of that little puppy and that little cat that you might have, even the little hamster. Yes, so we have a lot in store for you this morning. And so I encourage you to stay right here on Tobago Update and feel free to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll have a quick break and we'll be right back.
As small Caribbean islands, we do need to remember that we can't do it individually. The Caribbean needs to work as a whole, from something as simple as pool procurement of medicine or pool procurement of equipment, to sharing training, to having centers of excellence in different islands. Working together as one, we can become giants.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Are you ready to celebrate culture, color, and creativity? Then make Heritage Haven books and things your first stop this Heritage Festival. Step into a world of vibrant African wear, handcrafted accessories, unique gifts, local authors, and inspiring books for every age. Whether you're dressing for the festivities or searching for something special, Heritage Haven has something just for you. Heritage Haven books and things where culture comes alive. Visit us today at the Scarborough Esplanade and discover treasures. Celebrate culture where read it, live it.
Coming up, Barbados kicks off festival season with Crop Over, where you can live like a local. Moments of discovery and joy during Culinary Month in Antigua and Barbuda. Find that hero within you. As these women of vision share their stories of success, Caribbean Passport TV, your guide to what's happening in the region, here on this station.
And I have never, ever tried anything from the dirt oven. Let's go to the backyard dirt oven on a Thursday. You know, talk about authentic. On entry, I felt at home. I felt like I was going to visit my loving grandmother on a weekend. The kind of weekend where she showers you with love, stories, and food. This place is a home away from home. And just like I would do at home, I pop the question, what you had to eat day? And boom, coconut drops. Boom, bread. Boom, garlic bread, boom, hops, boom, coconut tart, boom, jam tart, and boom, something they call nuts. And just like that, Mistress Baker was ready to pop them in the oven. And don't worry, she had some help. And while we was waiting, I said, let we hear from Mistress Baker herself.
Well, we've been operating for a couple of years now. We started, this was a COVID project. We operate strictly on Tuesdays only. You don't keep stock, we only sell on Tuesdays.
Such a sweet lady. Hey, Olia, get ready. When last you see a nice golden brown bread, sir? Backyard bakery for the win. Olia, a GT, a finely gammy oven bread with a little extra goodies on the side. You might be asking, where they're located? They are located on Bukuru, right on Nightingale Avenue, right before Racetrack Wheels if you're coming from town. Just look for the green hedge. You can't miss it. Pause. Check out the menu they one time. Honestly, guys, this is an experience I will never forget. It's a home away from home, a place filled with love, life, and most importantly, good bread.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
From the reef to the road. From the reef to the road. From the reef to the road. Tobago calling. Sweet vibes, sweet wine, everybody falling. We bring the culture straight to you. Tobago updates, we keeping it true. Oh gosh. Tobago updates. On the screen, here we go. You're home for October, carnival show. From the big stage shine to the road line. We bring Tobago to the world in real time. Tobago updates. Tobago updates. Carnival 2026. We said the pace. Wave your flag. Anywhere you're there. Anywhere. Island love, trimming all around you. Yeah. Clicking lock on to the rhythm start. Tobago updates, Caribbean art.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to all our viewers, and we want to say thank you for staying right here with us. Now this morning in studio we have Suzanne Thomas, Mrs. Suzanne Thomas, and Mr. Eric Thomas, and we have the founder. So Mrs. Thomas is the founder of Women Breaking Boxes International, and Mr. Thomas, he is the PRO and events coordinator. And we are speaking about breaking the silence. It is an event that they are having, and we want to talk about that. But before we even talk about it, I want to say good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
You know, it is really a pleasure to have you all here, and we are speaking about something that is very important and is worth mentioning. It is always worth mentioning and speaking about issues that surrounding women, specifically those who may be hurting in romantic relationships. You know, and it is a topic that persons tend to shy away from, but this morning we are attacking it head on.
Of course.
Yes, we are attacking it head on, and that is what Women Breaking Boxes International is all about. Right? So tell us about when the organization was started. Yeah, and a little about the background to the organization. What would have prompted you to get involved in this type of work? Yeah?
Okay. So the organization started in 2021. The reason why I got into working with women is because of a call of God on my life, the call of God. It was prophesied to me over and over and over by many individuals, different places, that I'm supposed to be working with women who are wounded, who are bruised, you know, who are hurting. All right? Where Breaking Boxes came from is the fact that I was working in the United States in office with a colleague, and we had a conversation whereby she was going through something in the workplace, right? So while talking to her, I told her, you see that situation? I'm not going to allow anything like that to happen to me, because you see me, nobody's going to put me in a box. I break boxes. Then she wrote it on the whiteboard and she said, I love that. So after a while, when I decided to do Women Breaking Boxes, it came from the fact that we talk about these boxes. And that people mustn't have you confined. They don't like to do you certain things in the workplace and all around. People like to put you in a box.
Correct.
They like to have you trapped and confined, that you cannot move to do the things that you're supposed to do. That's where boxes came from.
I like it. I like it. You know, and it sounded so natural. You're having a conversation, and I mean, it just, person might say it is inspirational. Yes, it was inspired. Yeah, but I just want to bring you in at this point, Mr. Thomas. So we started the organization in 2021, and so far, what have the organization been doing to really raise awareness? And bring support to women to really break free of some of the boxes that society might put around them or put them in.
Well, my wife Suzanne and the CEO of this organization, since we have been married and working, it has been her passion to do that. Starting the organization, we have involved. I'm supporting. I'm saying we because I'm in the background, but you know, it's like they say, behind every good man is a good woman. Well, I'm saying this good woman, I'm behind her. You know, so
love that. I love that. It's so wholesome.
Yeah,
it's wholesome this morning, and this is you Wednesdays. I want you all to see how wholesome looks. Yes, how wholesome looks. Yes, Mr. Thomas.
So we've been doing a lot of things. Now, as she said, you know, coming out of the United States, because we had migrated to the United States and so on, and a wider background. You know, she's into, she's a social worker, so she's into that all the time. But when we came back to Trinidad and Tobago, one of the events we had was, you know, a Christmas event where these children were hurting and wasn't getting the love and the happiness that we think children should have had, especially on Christmas time. And she just said, I'm going to do these things for these children. And she had this massive event in John Dial, and I mean, it was really mind-boggling to see what she did and how the smiles and the love that came upon the face of these children. And then another incident, another program she launched into was Get Back to School initiative, where she sought books and school clothing and so on, because in Tobago, and I like to say Tobago, there are a lot of people who are not breaking the silence in these family issues, and I'm talking about breaking the silence. Although this event is about hurting within the romantic relationship, but within the relationship there are a lot of situations that in a silent way.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are suffering. And so, yes, I am so excited to work with her on this particular event, but throughout the years prior to it, we've been together doing a lot of things together.
And that is really good, very commendable. And it seems like it is almost second nature to you. Yes, this thing is second nature to you. And I mean, it must be commended. It must be commended what you're doing in the Tobago space. But we want to speak about a specific event that is coming up. Yes, and this event is called Breaking the Silence. And it is geared towards awareness for hurting and wounded women in romantic relationships. And so this event will be taking place. Just tell us the date that the event will be taking place and the venue, and then we'll kind of just dive into a little bit. We don't want to give away too much.
Oh.
Yeah, because we want you all to go out, yes?
Yes.
But we want to give you a little taste, yes? Just to kind of tickle the appetite, because we want you all to go out. So tell us when the event would be, the time and the date, and then we'll just talk a bit about what it would be about.
Okay.
Yeah.
The event will be at the Shore Park Food Hub on 25th of July, 2026, of course. It will be from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. All right?
And it takes the form of breakfast in conference. That is what I'm realizing.
Yes.
So, when you hear breakfast in conference,
that's right.
This is the Caribbean, this is Tobago.
Yes.
So, you know that people like breakfast. So we're supposed to expect a meal as well. Yes, and so it is your voice matters, your healing matters, your freedom matters. That is one of the things that is at the bottom of the flyer. And so what should they expect at this event?
Well, to break the silence, to be able to start to speak up about things that are happening in the relationship, right? By going to get help. Don't just stay and suffer silently and end up, dead. We don't want that to happen. And this thing is too rampant in Trinidad and Tobago now, that we want to help the individuals to be able to know where to go to get help. What should you do when you see certain things happen in the relationship? The red flags, we need to show you what these red flags are, and what to look out for. How do I get help?
Yeah.
Okay? Like, should I stay in this relationship? Should I get out of this relationship?
And something, sometimes you would think and you say, oh, well, it is probably only for married people. Yeah, this thing is only for married people. I ain't married nobody. I don't need to fight up with that. But is that really a fact that you only see this issue in like marriages alone?
Actually, one of the deep passion as we looked at this event, we thought of, even from 16 years, almost every female, every woman, from 16 years, they're into relationships. So when we talk about this event, we're not talking about the people who are already hurting, as this our CEO would say. Is what happened before the death.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about preparing ourselves for to deal with this. This event helps those who are not hurt, battered or bruised. The information there is for you to help a sister, to help an aunt, to help a daughter. So Susan could say more about this.
Yes. So the reason why we have relationship and we didn't say marriage is because it's for anyone in a relationship.
Yes.
Married or unmarried. Most of the people, I would say most, who are you seeing getting unalive or dying these days? Boyfriend killing girlfriend. They don't even own them. They didn't walk down the aisle with them, but they decide to take them out.
Right.
Right? So I am saying to anybody in relationship, you would know if you have to run from that person. You would know if you need to go and get professional help. So we're not here just to break up and destroy anything, but we're here to help you to make an informed decision with respect to the relationship, right? There are also people who they don't have a partner with them right now, but they were wounded, seriously wounded, and they need to get help to come out of that place.
Right.
Because that is keeping them trapped. That is a box.
Yeah, it sounds holistic, and I like that.
Yes.
So we're looking at a holistic approach, yes, to breaking boxes. And so, is there a cost attached as we seek to kind of pull things together? Is there a cost attached, and how can we get in contact with the organization?
Okay. The cost attaches $60. We just a little $60 because we have to prepare the breakfast and stuff like that. Okay? So you can call 790-0825. We still have some more tickets, and you could call so you could get one. Okay? 790-0825. And you call in Susan Thomas from Women Breaking Boxes International.
Yes, and I also want to inform the viewers that they are also on social media platforms. Yes, so they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, and you can even send them an email at womenbbi@gmail.com. Yes, so we have the information right here, and we want to encourage persons. Sometimes we tend to see the red flags waving, and we want to paint them green. Yes, so we want to tell you to head on down to Breaking the Silence. Yes, call the numbers and get yourself informed, become informed. Yes, and that will be on Saturday, July 25th, 2026, 8 to 1 p.m. They will tell you everything. Yes, the Thomases will be there waiting to greet you with open arms, and you can find yourself a community right there, breaking the silence. So look out for it. I want to say thank you for coming and really dealing with this topic with such grace. Yes, because it is a hard topic to deal with, but it is important for us to have these conversations. And so we want to say thank you. We want to wish you all the best in not just the events on Saturday, but even going forward. Yes, in your work that you're doing at Women Breaking Boxes International. So thank you. At this time, we will take a quick break, and we'll be back because there are a lot more programming right here on Tobago Updates. Before I go, I want to let you know, share the live, share the live, share the live.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So, even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, We understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Okay. 335, 336, 337, 338, 339,
Counting on your fingers again. No wonder you lose your business.
Grandpa, thanks for helping me start over.
You not lucky in business, you know. As a child, you tried to sell hog plum. That failed. As a teenager, you and your boyfriend tried to break into the jewelry business. But hey, where that boy end up?
He live in Aruka in the Grove. The golden one.
Oh, child, if you want to get into business, you have to have your financial records intact. But hey, do you know your numbers?
Of course, 624 333.
No, child, your numbers, your ratios, your equity ratios. You have a financial handicap.
What?
You need to see somebody about that. Anderson.
Who?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago, they offer tax and accounting services. They know about financial management.
Grandpa, I started this business with nothing.
And nothing is what you will end up with unless you call Anderson Services. Here.
Okay, this card is nice.
Yeah.
What's this?
Your rental fee. Have business will pay rent. Hot and groovy in the soca party.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
As small Caribbean islands, we do need to remember that we can't do it individually. The Caribbean needs to work as a whole. From something as simple as pool procurement of medicine or pool procurement of equipment, to sharing training, to having centers of excellence in different islands. Working together as one, we can become giants.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Coming up, Barbados kicks off festival season with Crop Over, where you can live like a local. Moments of discovery and joy during Culinary Month in Antigua and Barbuda. Find that hero within you. As these women of vision share their stories of success, Caribbean Passport TV, your guide to what's happening in the region, here on this station.
Tobago, are you ready to celebrate culture, color, and creativity? Then make Heritage Haven books and things your first stop this Heritage Festival. Step into a world of vibrant African wear, handcrafted accessories, unique gifts, local authors, and inspiring books for every age. Whether you're dressing for the festivities or searching for something special, Heritage Haven has something just for you. Heritage Haven books and things where culture comes alive. Visit us today at the Scarborough Esplanade and discover treasures. Celebrate culture where read it, live it.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back. So we are talking with veterinarian Dr. Paul Crooks, and we're talking about pets. Now I want to just put a disclaimer in right here. Now viewers, I am a plant person. However, I don't like to see pets treated badly at all. Yes, listen. So we're here to talk with Dr. Crooks, and he will be telling us all about being a responsible pet owner. Yeah, because sometimes, not because we don't have these serious regulations, you have your dog looking a kind of way. Yes, so good morning, Dr. Crooks, good morning.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
Yes, and so you hear the disclaimer. Yeah, I'm a plant person.
That's right.
Yes, but, I mean, pets are part of, you see them all over the place, and we want to really speak to that this morning. We want to speak about the responsibility that pet owners, they have, and we also want to talk about, sometimes you have the children saying, Mommy, I want a nice little puppy, I want a kitten. Yeah, so we have all these kind of things, and we want to really speak to that this morning. So first, what does responsible pet ownership looks like?
All right. Well, ultimately, responsible pet ownership is the same as responsible plant care. One, you provide an environment for an animal that is as free as possible of stress, pain, and distress. So you want an animal that is comfortable. Just like plants need the right temperature, the right nutrients in order to grow and flourish, so do pet animals. So ultimately, responsible pet ownership means that you are taking the animal to the veterinarian when it's due for shots, that you're using medications to prevent fleas and ticks, that the animal is not kept in a very, very confined space. The animal is able to behave like it normally would, within reason, right?
Right.
The animal doesn't go out onto the road and cause road traffic accidents. The animal doesn't have puppies and kittens that you now have to dump in the bin or in the beach or on the side of the road. And ultimately, that the animals don't cause harm to other animals or to people.
All right, now this thing starts to song, it's singing like a lot. And persons watching, and you grew up in the Tobago space, and you hear, what stress animals get, what you're talking about? Let the dog and them roam free, and I mean, stress, and you mentioned that, speak to that a bit about what kind of stress them men working nowhere, Doc? What kind of stress these animals could possibly have?
Well, all animals with backbones, and in fact there have been recent studies that show that even animals without backbones, including things like lobsters, crustacean animals, they've been in research shown to have sensations that are equivalent to us human beings. They're called sentient animals. Sentient means a level of awareness of the environment and of themselves. That also means that they feel pain. So what it means for us as the human animal is that we can recognize that if we are struck by a belt, for example, we know that hurts. We know that's a stimulus that we don't like. It also means that the dog wouldn't like that too. So basically, the way that we treat the animals should somewhat be the way that we would treat another person or ourselves. Of course, as we saw in the last interview, there are times where we don't treat other people the way that we ought to treat them.
Correct.
So what you expect in terms of animals, but at the same time, ultimately, we want to make sure that the animals are fed appropriately, that they're given adequate water, that they're given space to be away from their feces, urine, and so on, a clean environment, that they are able to play. Think of an animal almost like a child in terms of the requirements for care, because that is what we need people to understand, that when you get a puppy, ultimately, a puppy isn't going to remain a puppy. And there are times where owners even let the collar get too tight on the neck because the puppy grows. They buy a puppy a collar because it's so cute and they want a collar right at the start. And at the start, they spend all the money on the dog. Maybe sometimes they spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on the puppy itself, but they don't take it to the vet. And they put this collar on the neck and the dog is growing and the collar stays the same and it cuts into the neck of the dog. We've seen that on so many occasions. Even something as simple as that implies to us when that dog comes to us that the owner isn't really paying attention to the dog, the owner isn't petting the dog. You should be able to slip 2 fingers under the collar on the neck. So those are the kinds of things that we expect people to be paying attention to as they have these animals.
Interesting. And, so let's say that I have some nephews.
Yeah.
I have some nephews. Not let's say, I actually have some. And they want some pets, right? They want pets, and I have no way to find these pets for them. Well, that's what I think. Persons might be in my position. How do we go about finding these pets for these children, a cat, a dog? Tell us a little bit about that.
The first thing that we need to know here in Trinidad and Tobago is you don't need no purebred dog. We have plenty of dogs and cats that are out on the road that people are trying to find homes for all over the place. You need only to search on Facebook dogs, cats for adoption, and you will find many, many options. But even if you don't want to search on Facebook, the animal shelter, the TTSPCA, down near the Dwight York Stadium, is always full of dogs and cats that are looking for homes. There's never a shortage, unfortunately, there's never a shortage of animals that need homes, animals that are warm and caring and kind. Because even though there is some innate desire in many of us to have these purebred, so-called purebred animals, if they are purebred, because in many cases those are also mixed bred, and if you ask vets, if you have a Doberman and German Shepherd cross, you're telling us you have a patong. That is the equivalent. That's what you're telling us. Once you have it crossed, and if you don't have paperwork and you can't prove it's purebred, it's still crossed. To us,
Lord, you crushed a lot of them.
That's right. Yeah, you're basically saying it's a patong.
Right.
As far as we're concerned, from a health standpoint, there are certain breed characteristics and so on we expect to see, but from a health standpoint, patongs, the domestic short-hair cats, the normal sort of stray cat that we see, those are all generally pretty healthy animals on the whole, and they need the level of care that you would put into this dog that you spend $5,000 or $6,000 for, even if you paid only $400 or $500 from the animal shelter, or even if is your neighbor giving the dog away, you still need to carry it to the vet. You still need that level of care. In fact, I had written an article once. It could be upwards of $3,000 a year for the care of an animal, depending on your diet and so on, maybe even more for one single dog. If you are carrying that dog for vaccines, if the dog has to be spayed so that it doesn't have puppies, in that year that you spay the dog, it might be upwards of $5,000, $6,000 for the care of a dog, and you might have to budget somewhere along the lines of $500 a month or more, depending on what the situation is with the dog, the health situation and so on.
Now, this
or
is
the
a
cat.
strange question I'm going to ask here, but I'm into budgeting.
Yeah.
Right? I don't believe in spending a bad cent.
Right.
Right? And some persons call it cheap, frugal. Say what you want, right? I'm not going to spend that bad cent regardless. So I want to know, it have insurance in it because I hear a lot of money. You have pet insurance?
I wouldn't use frugal and so on. I would say financially wise, okay?
I love it.
All right.
I love it.
But unfortunately, there's no pet insurance. We had Guardian Group looking at it with the Trinidad and Tobago Vet Association.
We have to look into that,
We had persons looking into it, but they didn't find that it was viable. What would it cover, etc. So those are some of the things that are still being hashed out through Guardian Group, and a couple others were looking into it, like Sagicor. But at the same time, as of right now, no, there's no health insurance available. So ultimately, if you are taking on a pet as a pet owner, it's not for the child. That is your wallet, your money. You need to be able to budget. So you have to know that pet is a privilege. It is not a right to own a pet. So if you own that pet, you have to be able to afford to care for the pet, because otherwise you're just going to be maybe possibly abusing an animal. In the case of, I know it was mentioned before, it would have been in the news, there was a recent case where a person was attacked by dogs.
Yeah.
That is an example of irresponsible pet ownership, regardless of the breed of the dog. And I know years ago when the Dogs Act was brought up as certain breeds listed as being aggressive, we had at the Trinidad and Tobago Vet Association, as well as the SPCA and many other non-governmental organizations, had said, we don't agree with having legislation that specifies these breeds. because any dog can be dangerous, and the owner is largely responsible for training, housing, and so on, to limit the ability of the animal to cause harm to others.
So what can you do? You have this dog, and you say train them. How can an owner go about training them and even taking certain steps so as to prevent this incident that we would have mentioned? Very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah. So how can we prevent things like this from happening? Because stuff like this can also be a deterrent. Person like, I ain't able with no dog, I ain't able with them kind of thing. So we kind of want to alleviate that fear, and we want persons to be knowledgeable about what they can do. So please, Doc, share that with us.
First of all, I would say that every animal is an individual, just like every human is an individual. The way they respond to certain stimuli would be different. 99% of dogs we deal with, while some might be shy, some might run away, some might hide, some might bark, 99% of dogs that we deal with as veterinarians that we see at the animal hospital are not aggressive. Aggression is usually something that the owners desire, and you'll find that there are owners who beat their dogs, who try to bait the dogs to give it raw meat and that sort of thing to try to get the dog to attack at them, who don't discourage aggressive play. Those are the kinds of owners that ultimately, eventually lose control of their animals, because that dog who you're training to bite everybody without having some sort of obedience training, that dog will eventually bite you too. That dog that you're training to bite everybody without discrimination will attack a child who comes into your yard. And these are the kinds of things we are crying out for: responsible pet ownership, obedience training. Make sure that your animal follows commands. That has to start before aggression training. But here, it's backward, right? There are a lot of people who want their dog to be pulling at them when they're walking.
Yeah.
Like the dog charging at somebody and they had to pull it back, as if that's
adrenaline.
As if that's something that's desirable, right?
It's crazy.
We have a lot of owners who do that, and many of those owners don't bring their animals to the vet. They don't go to the SPCA for advice, or to contact the Trinidad and Tobago Vet Association, or call us at the Tobago Animal Hospital.
Can you get both? As in, can you get a dog that, hey, I want my dog to be a protect right now? My sister have a dog, and I said, my God, this and that dog and nothing is the same. That dog and nothing is the same. That dog wouldn't peep. That dog watch you and going about his merry way. I mean, can you get both? Can you get a nice love-up dog? And when you see a stranger, you need to know to back. At this point, I told my sister, I said, I could be a guard dog by you.
Yeah.
So can we get both?
You definitely can. So most dogs are going to be protective of their environment, but they're also relatively able to determine threats, just like we are. So if the owner goes to the gate and lets somebody into the yard, the dog kind of drops the guard because the owner is letting the person in.
Right.
If the person is climbing through a window and everybody normally comes through the door, that is a different story. Even if it's a familiar person climbing through the window, most dogs will bark. They may not necessarily attack, but the bark is usually enough to deter somebody. The issue is that many burglars or would-be burglars are going to be deterred by the size of the dog. Even if you have the friendliest Rottweiler in the world who would only run up under your foot for pet and love, if a burglar jumps in and sees that dog, they'll jump right back out.
Right.
It doesn't matter if the dog barks or not. So yes, you can have both, but typically for deterring criminals or for security purposes, you want a larger dog. But typically it's just the size of the dog that's intimidating, not so much that the dog has to be aggressive. And importantly, aggression training, if you ever go that route, and there are groups in Trinidad that can do good aggression training, but if you do go that route, the aggression training should follow obedience training all the time. And obedience training always starts with reward-based training. No abuse, no yelling. The animal should be able to respond to commands. And just like people, different animals train differently. They learn differently in different paces. Some are more receptive than others. Let's put it like that.
Understood. Very interesting. And so as we seek to wrap things up, very interesting conversation. I would let my sister know that that dog is just too short. At this point, he is just too short. But what message can you leave with our viewers about this lifelong commitment of caring for pets?
Yeah, so basically, ultimately, what we want to say is responsible pet ownership boils down to us being empathetic individuals, recognizing that animals need care throughout their lives, understanding that that is an emotional, financial, and physical investment on our part. And so if you are trying or considering getting a pet for your child, understand that that is a pet for the household and ultimately a pet for your wallet, regardless of the pet. And please call us at the Tobago Animal Hospital if you have any questions. Animals need shots and so on to protect them and keep them healthy. We want to prevent disease that spread from animals to humans. Call us about any questions that you may have at 239-7837, the Tobago Animal Hospital, and we can assist you.
All right, that sounds good. Just repeat the number again for them, Dr. Crooks, in case anybody would have missed it. Just repeat the number, and then we'll go from there.
No problem. The Tobago Animal Hospital, you can call us at 239-7837.
Okay. Thank you for being with us this morning, and we want to thank you, our viewers, for staying tuned to Tobago Updates. I mean, it was such interesting conversations that we had this morning. Always a lot to learn, and that is what is important. You know, life journey is about learning. Yeah, lifelong learning. You don't just switch off the learning and say, all right, I make it. Yes, and so we're happy that we're able to learn about responsible pet ownership and also really touch on the topic about breaking the silence, which is very important. So I want to let you know that programming continues right here on Tobago Updates. Although we come to the end of this morning's show, we have Good Morning Tobago coming up next. So don't move, stay right here with us and continue to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Seventeen-year-old sixth form student Shania Phillip of Signal Hill Secondary School was declared Tobago's 2026 Junior Secretary of Tourism following an outstanding performance during this year's Tobago Tourism Youth Congress.
To sustainably transform our human capital, we must deploy blockchain micro-credentialing, immersive virtual reality learning hubs, and AI-powered intelligence platforms.
Shania tapped representatives from the other participating secondary schools who also vied for the opportunity to represent the island at the Caribbean Tourism Organization's Regional Tourism Youth Congress. Jola Clinton of Bishop's High School, Tobago secured second place, while Alikia Patterson of Speyside Secondary School placed third.
To move our industry from barely surviving to becoming a global leader, I, as a junior tourism secretary, propose 3 clear strategies.
I propose 3 key initiatives to help transform Tobago into a living museum: youth engagement, community art, and digital storytelling. First, schools across Tobago can adopt nearby heritage sites. This will allow students to actively participate in preserving local history while developing a deeper connection to their communities.
The Tobago Tourism Youth Congress is a flagship initiative of the Division of Tourism, Antiquities and Creative Industries.
Today is certainly much more than a competition. It's about leadership, critical thinking, confidence, and innovation. It's about giving young people a platform to express their perspectives on tourism and demonstrate their potential as future leaders of Tobago.
Today, we witness young people engaging in important questions about tourism, sustainability, innovation, and the future of our destination. And as we await the announcement of this morning's results, I want every participant to understand something very important. Your greatest achievement today is not simply the prize you would win in a few moments. Your greatest achievement is that you have accepted the responsibility to represent your school, to share your ideas, and to contribute to a conversation that matters.
In an emotional farewell as the former Tobago Junior Tourism Secretary, Jolie St. John shared some words of encouragement for the would-be newly elected Junior Tourism Secretary 2026.
To the incoming Junior Secretary of Tourism, cherish this opportunity. The title itself is important, but the experiences, relationships, and the lessons that come with it are even more valuable. Do not be afraid to respectfully challenge boundaries and ask difficult questions. Some of the opportunities will come to you, but others you must create yourself. The impact you will make will not solely be measured by the events you attend, the photo-op moments, and the titles you earn, but by the lives you touch, the footprints you leave behind.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
I would have heard of this OCS Vacation Employment Program through social media, right? I signed up for the program hoping to be enrolled to get greater insights into the operations of the Office of the Chief Secretary, seeing that this office is essentially the premier office of all the divisions across the Tobago House of Assembly. I hope that at the end of this program I'll be able to gain greater skills that will help me in the long run. Seeing that I would be completing my A-level studies at Bishop's High School just now, going into university pretty soon. I hope that this program will give me the necessary skills and develop me as a young person as I go into university and the world of work.
Remember when July-August vacation finally arrived? It meant freedom. No school, no homework, just fun. Those moments will always be special, but as time changes, so do the opportunities. Today, our teenagers can use their vacation to do more than make memories. They can build their future.
We are genuinely excited to have you.
Yes, we are truly grateful to host you for the next 2 months of the 2026 Vacation Employment Program. This program promised to be a fulfilling exchange, not just for you, but for us as well. We too will gain valuable experience as public officers from you being here. I have always believed that there is so much power when different generations are open and willing to learn from each other. So I encourage all of us, trainees and public officers alike, to fully embrace this process. And let us be intentional about pouring into one another during this time. Through this initiative by the Office of the Chief Secretary, young Tobagonians are being given an incredible opportunity. Over the next 2 months, you will gain practical experience, and I cannot overstate how important that is, especially when such opportunities are becoming increasingly difficult for young people. Therefore, endeavors such as these play a critical role.
Through the Office of the Chief Secretary Vacation Employment Program, young people are getting a head start into the world of work. They're gaining hands-on experience, developing valuable workplace skills, building confidence, and discovering what it means to be a part of a professional team.
I learned it through a school group chat, where the group chat basically aims in exposing students to things that they can better their skill sets and gain new experiences. And well, in this program, I just hope to gain new experiences and a wider skill set and skill range.
The reason why I applied for this internship is because I enjoy gaining new experiences, learning new things, and strengthening the existing skills that I possess at the moment. And I pay particular attention to detail, and I ensure that while working that everything is done how it needs to be done. I hope to gain new experiences and leave here not leaving as the same person, but coming out as a new, evolved version of myself, equipped for whatever challenges may come my way in different work experiences here on Fort.
I heard about this program through our principal at Signal Hill Secondary School, where she sent it in a group chat that we have that focuses on pushing students to further their education. From this internship, I hope to just gain skills on, how to operate in a workplace, especially as I'm going to finish my tenure at Signal Hill Secondary School, and I'm going to be going into the world of work. So I hope that this opportunity grants me the skills that are necessary to excel in the workplace here.
So while this may not be anything like summer camp, vacation Bible school, or youth community activities, rest assured the future of Tobago is being shaped one young person, one opportunity, one experience at a time.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
A brand new dawn, and as the passion
morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Chanel Felix. And you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. On Monday, July 13th, hundreds of mourners braved the rainy weather at Faith Assembly International to pay their final respects to Tobagonian music icon Oscar Benjamin, globally celebrated as Oscar B. The former lead singer of Byron Lee and Dragonaires was remembered by family and friends and fellow musicians as a cultural ambassador who brought the raw energy of his island home to the stage worldwide. Additionally, over in the United States, Bethel's very own Calypso Rose was honored in New York City at the Lincoln Center, hosted by the Caribbean Cultural Center African Diaspora Institution. Their free 50th anniversary event celebrated Rose's pioneering career, marking a historic full-circle moment when the Calypso icon performed at the Institute's inaugural 1984 Carnival event. And finally, in Scarborough, academic opportunities were front and center yesterday as the Costa Tobago campus hosted the 2026 Open Day at the Port Mall, featuring same-day registrations and approvals. Prospective students explored specialized tracks in tourism, the School of Journalism, and nursing. And that was our news in 90 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we jump straight ahead into our conversation, and I have the privilege of being joined virtually this morning by a man that's no stranger to us here on Tobago Updates. This morning we're talking about the Forex shortage/crisis here in Trinidad and Tobago, and who else to have that conversation with this morning other than our very own Curtis Williams, who is the head of the Chamber of Industry and Commerce right here in Tobago. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to your viewers and listeners. It's a pleasure being on here.
Excellent. It's always a pleasure to have you, Mr. Williams. This morning we're talking about a Forex crisis that we don't know if to say it's still a crisis because it has been going on for so long. Over 5 years, we have been having this conversation about the Forex shortage. We remember that time when banks started cutting back on the amount of Forex that was available to the average citizens via their credit cards, and we had hundreds of persons complaining about what that looked like when they traveled abroad and abruptly they were not able to access more foreign currency. We heard about businesses who rely solely on foreign currency to handle import and export related activities for their businesses being hampered by this shortage. And being in the Caribbean and Trinidad and Tobago being an oil and gas producing nation, we would think that with booms happening within the region, particularly like what's happening in Guyana, we should be at a place now where a strategy should have been put in place to stabilize the accessibility and the influx of Forex in the country to make it more accessible and, you know, the avenues more reliable for the average citizens and businesses. Tell us a bit about where the Chamber stands as it pertains to this ongoing situation with Forex shortage in Trinidad and Tobago.
And Felix, you're correct. And we at the Tobago division of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, we had meeting with the central bank, and this was the first agenda item on our meeting, treating with the Forex issues that plague SMEs in Tobago. And it's so serious in Tobago that some of the SMEs are out of business because of this. Some have changed their business model, and some have reduced their stock, because purchasing becomes very difficult, especially when the last blow that we got when the credit card limit was reduced by most of the major banks on the island. So it becomes a burning issue for us, a really burning issue for us. The last conversation we had with the government, they indicated that that they are putting something in place. I think the central bank governor met with some of our executive and he indicated that they were going to put something in place. We were talking about there was the Exim Bank that used to treat with the Forex for manufacturing. That's our domestic manufacturing companies. So that the strain would, because if the Exim Bank was giving these folks Forex, the strain will not be so much on the bank to give the other small SMEs like ourselves Forex, who needs it. And then for some reason or not, we just can't get it. I mean, going to the bank now for Forex, just forget it. Just forget it. You're getting $100. What can I do for business for $100? If I'm a small person who imports, let's say, for instance, clothes, some people import clothes, some imports other haberdashis and other stuff that they resell because that's the nature of the business they're into. The suitcase trade that we used to call it long time, that trade is actually going out of style now. So most of us have to look for other avenues, whether it's Panama, Curacao, or other places that they have to seek to see how best they can get stuff. But at the end of the day, they still need the Forex to do business, because even when you go to some of these islands, they're not accepting TT, they want Forex. And it's a big problem, really big problem.
And I want to understand, what are some of the conversations that's taking place currently as it pertains to what the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce is having with the central bank and the energy sector? Because we know that internationally what is happening in the Middle East with the Strait of Hormuz, with some of the main channels for oil and gas to travel throughout the world. And that presents an open opportunity for Trinidad and Tobago to now come in there and benefit. What are some of the conversations as it pertains to strategy at this time to benefit from what is happening globally? You know, we're in a situation where if we play our cards right, we can also experience that type of boom. Talk to us about that.
Well, there are two parts to it. We want something immediate. As we can see, some of the bigger players in Trinidad not even getting Forex to do some of their business. PriceSmart and some other companies that will normally get this junk of Forex, they're not getting it anymore. The prices for Forex, they're not supposed to be trading on the black market, but the black market price now is nearly $9 for $1 US. And that's what you're not supposed to do, because that's illegal. But when you go to the bank, you're just not getting anything. So what do you want us to do as a SME? And that's the kind of conversation we're telling central bank, you know. So they put in some, as they said, a medium term fix. And I'm looking at it, and I'm really waiting to hear what the update on that medium fix is. I know Exim Bank because Exim Bank now moved to the Ministry of Finance, and they are putting something in place for their light manufacturing. So those folks who doing light manufacturing and need the raw materials and they may need access to Forex, they were going to do something for the SMEs, maybe a pool, maybe of probably 500,000 US or $1 million, and then you could access these based on an ongoing basis. But we were looking at all possible avenues on how best we could deal with it. Yes, we know that with the global tractions that's happening, yes, they will have some impact on us, and definitely. It's not an impact of a positive, it will have an impact of a negative as well. We will feel the effect of that coming down to Christmas time, when you cannot get some of the major stuff that is so desired for Christmas. You will get the effect of it soon. Sooner or later, you will definitely get the effect. But what can we do in the interim? We in Tobago are accustomed to tourism. Tourism do bring a lot of Forex to our shores. And so when we look at the tourism plant and what's going on in tourism, direct flights coming in Tobago, we know that the new airport going to be opening soon. The excitement is buzzing around. The airport going to be opening. I see lots of activities up to this morning. I mean, the road is blocked off and there's so much activities happening there. I know for sure that the airport is going to open soon. But what we're going to do in the meantime, we can't sit and wonder, because we have to do business. So hence the reason why we asking the central bank and the government to intervene and do something, at least put some band-aid on the problem, or the sewing problem that we have right now. And I know for sure that something will be done, and we're waiting for that answer from the central bank and the government.
Right. But one of the most frustrating and deliberate things that's happening with businesses is that even though they are making the Forex, or their business models bring in US currency, a lot of the times it's very difficult for them to get it out. So it's easy to get it in in certain sectors, particularly in tourism, for those persons who have those Airbnb properties, or those store operation companies where they book online and persons use their credit cards to book them. But these persons, they have US accounts. They go to the bank, they say, okay, well, I'm traveling this week, or I want to bring in new equipment for my company using the Forex that I have in my US account. And they're receiving those challenges for the money that they themselves are making in the foreign currency. Tell us a bit about that. It's one thing to go and try to buy Forex, but there's another thing when the money is in your account, it belongs to you. You go to the bank, you want to access it, but there's an issue to access your own money.
And you're correct. I don't want to name the financial institution, but I have experienced that myself. The funds is there, and I went to withdraw the funds, and they tell me, well, you only have a limit, and then and if I need over that limit, I would have to pay a service charge to get it and all in cash, and then so you can't get it, and because there's a limit. And then if you have to get it, you have to pay a service charge to get it. Your own money that you put into that account. Right? And that's some of the growing challenges that we have, even as SMEs, that we can't have access to your Forex because of this shortage around moving around the financial system. So then the question begs upon you, what's next? And hence the reason why we ask for meaningful dialogue with the Ministry of Finance, because I know the budget conversation is coming up soon. And this is one of our head topic. We're going to talk about it until something is being done meaningfully. And we're definitely going to speak about the Forex going all the way. We're definitely not going to stop talking about the Forex.
Right. But persons are asking, is it a challenge that is nationwide, or is it a challenge that is specific to a particular group? We saw that situation just a week ago where $2 million was flagged at the Piaco International Airport, being moved from Trinidad and Tobago into Miami from one of the financial institutions. And persons are asking, is there really a Forex issue, or is there an issue for some while others don't face the same challenges?
No, it would be sad to say, but according to the information I got, we have Forex in Trinidad and Tobago, but it's sitting in folks' bank account. So a lot of folks is holding on the Forex that they have. They're keeping it in their account, hoping that I don't know if they're waiting for the money to devalue, or they may have some downfall. But there's a lot of Forex in the country that's sitting in bank accounts. Institutions do move money between countries. I know whether you move money because the money is damaged, or whether you move money to give another jurisdiction that you need to get that cash across. You do move money across. As to moving hard cash at that quantity, yes, you will have restrictions. You will have to do all the paperwork. And I expect that as a bank, they ought to follow all the directions and all the laws that pertain to moving currency out of a country, or a jurisdiction, I should say. And I expect them to be following all of it. I mean, they cross the I's and dot the T's. Then they cross the T's and dot the I's. So we expect them to do that. And so when something has to be flagged from customs because they're not too happy with the paperwork, and that signals a question to us. But again, as I said, institutions do move currency between their locations. I don't know why they were moving that amount of currency. What's the reason for? Because if you have a clearing bank, you just send a wire to the clearing bank, and the entity in that country just go and pick up the money from the clearing bank, and then you have US in your hand. So we don't know what was the reason for them moving hard cash. This hard cash is the problem. You're moving hard cash out of Trinidad and Tobago when you have a clearing bank and so forth to carry in the next jurisdiction that have US, that don't have a crisis. Unless the jurisdiction have Forex crisis and you're trying to carry hard cash for them. So they need to answer that question, and I think that the media and the different authorities will ask them the question, and they will have to answer it because we know, as you indicated, that there's this big shortage here. Different entities will have access based on your allocation, based on the type of business you are into. You may have access to Forex, but you might get what you want. But we as a SME, we definitely have no access to none, no matter what. Once you're operating in Tobago, you're SME, you go to the bank, salt. You just have to sit and wait and pray that that somebody give you a $500 or $1,000 if you get so much to do your business. No, this is business you're doing it. This is not to go and have a holiday with your family. This is business. So it's a bit challenging for us, and we spoke to all authorities about it, and we're hoping in the near distance future, the Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank do listen to us and hear our cry and treat them with this. As I said, the way we can fix this in Tobago, a quick fix, is really look at our tourism and how best we can get tourism cracking, getting that much needed forex across in the island. I know the international market is a bit sloppy now. It's not much international guests coming across as before. We're looking forward to the vacation period where we just see Carl's indicated that they're going to put on extra flights, etc. But I know with that happening, today we can speak. There are people in Trinidad trying to get to Tobago and can't even get across to Tobago, and that's a fact. So we did. Carl said they're going to put on these extra flights as from tomorrow. But look, today they're nearly over 60 plus people in Piaco waiting to get across to Tobago on standby from since this morning. So there's crisis happening there right here in Tobago that we need to address, low-hanging fruits, and we know that Carl could address. Don't wait until tomorrow because your ad set, I think, was the 16th, but all now we have people there suffering and waiting to get across to Tobago. And that's Tobagonians who coming across just probably for business and just who want to get back home and just can't get home. So these are little things that we need to work out. And Chanel, this is what we're asking the authorities to look at the low-hanging fruits and see how best they could address them, because they impact, these low-hanging fruits impact the small man on the streets, just a normal family who just trying to get a vacation, or the small man who trying to get forex just to do business. Simple, buying local or raw materials to infuse into your manufacturing here on island. You're having challenges getting the forex. And the Secretary for Finance, she just said it last night. I heard on one media house that she indicated how some of the SMEs having challenges, the light manufacturing, in getting funds just to buy the bare raw material to make the finished product. And it's a challenge going forward, and we have to find a way in which we could fix this challenge going forward.
Understood. Let's talk about the foreign direct investment aspect of things. When we look at the forex shortage, it really does hinder us from being able to be as attractive as we want to be. Because when persons invest, they're obviously looking for a return on their investment. And most times if you invest in US currency or any other hard currency, you want to be able to benefit in that very same hard currency. So when there's a situation where it's easy to get the money into the economy if you so desire through those direct investments, but when it's time to get back the money, there's a cry that there isn't sufficient availability of that foreign currency to even pay back our investors. Where do we draw the line? How do we deal with these type of issues if we're saying, listen, we want to be attractive to international investors. We want persons to come to Trinidad and particularly Tobago to invest here. But they're investing here, and when they're looking back to receive that money, there's difficulty in the availability. So talk to us about that from the Chamber's perspective.
And you're correct. Some of us, based on the type of industry they're investing in, if it's a hospitality industry, hotels, etc., you might not have that challenge because your booking reservation may be processing bookings in US. So you will have an influx of US coming in, and you will be able to put that US into your bank account and able to sell it to your bank because you will need TT dollars to spend on island. Most of the foreign franchise have to pay their franchise fees in the US. So that's why I remember Prestige Holdings in the last financial statement, they were talking about the same forex challenges that they have, because they have to pay back some of these fees in forex, and they cannot use the rate that the bank is using. You as a business person cannot use that 6.5 or 3 that the bank is using. No way. If you're going to use that, you're going to be out of business within a short space of time. So when you go, because you have to do whatever it takes to get forex, so you probably will use a rate probably about 8. Some of them you probably use 8.5 that you have to put onto as your product come in. So hence the reason why we indicated that we appreciate for the direct foreign investment, and then we have to look at models in which how we could get these foreign investment to come through the system, and the funds stay here and they repatriate the funds back in TT as much as possible, whether you're going to spend the money here, and then you definitely, as you indicated, you will have to pay the relevant fees back to the US, as the case may be, or out of the country. Because anything leaving Trinidad and Tobago, you're going to leave in TT dollars, you're going to leave in US, because that's the most traded currency around the world. So that's why Forex, the US becomes the harder currency, the hardest one to get going back out. But we have to, again, I said, we can't rely on oil and gas. In Tobago, let's move away from the oil and gas. Let's stop thinking about that check that comes from Trinidad ever so often. And let's see how best we can develop our own industry here in Tobago. I know it's not an easy call. It will take a lot of enabling from the central government and the THA to assist private sector in developing or even breaking out that whole market of core, that whole beast called tourism. Because the hospitality industry is not just tourism. There are other aspects of the hospitality industry that we need to put on the plate as we're trying to build out this whole thing. And the first thing I always think about is the people. We have to get our minds thinking tourism. If our minds is not thinking tourism, we're wasting our time. Because tourism starts from the minute that person leaves their country coming across here. So if they don't get that customer service, that warm feeling from the airport, from the airline coming all into the country, they reach here and they're sour. And then that's it, the vacation spoiled. So tourism speaks more than just treating with just getting flights here, but us people treating the customers, treating the guests as welcome, and giving them an experience of their life. So when we speak tourism, we speak about a holistic thing. And hence the reason why, as you indicated, get direct investment, getting the Forex in is something that we can look at. And I know that there were 2 projects that were bantering around the hotel in Roxborough that will be branded under the Hilton brand. And then the Marriott one that we're hoping that sometime probably August, September may break soil. And we're looking forward to those investments because Marriott coming here going to be a big game changer. It's going to be a game changer for the entire industry here in Tobago. It will open up the eyes of everyone, the farmers, and we're talking about the fisher folk, the taxi drivers, the tour guides, the people in the creative arts. When you see what Marriott could bring to a small island like us, you will be amazed. So then we won't have people going to the THA looking for work anymore. They will all be into the hospitality industry. They will develop the attitude of treating tourists as we go along. And I think that will augurs really, really well for us. So we're pushing to get some more direct investment in so that we could get that much needed Forex and we could need to deviate from the oil and gas and don't depend on Trinidad or that waiting for that check when the fortnight or the month, as the case may be, comes to us.
Right. And, we're going to take a quick break right here. But when we come back, we're going to talk about the businesses taking the initiative on their own to go out and look for those investors to come into the country and be a part of that economic drive for, investment in Tobago particularly. That and much more after this break. See you soon.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear me.
Coming up, Barbados kicks off festival season with Crop Over, where you can live like a local. Moments of discovery and joy during Culinary Month in Antigua and Barbuda. Find that hero within you. As these women of vision share their stories of success, Caribbean Passport TV, your guide to what's happening in the region, here on this station.
As small Caribbean islands, we do need to remember that we can't do it individually. The Caribbean needs to work as a whole. From something as simple as pooled procurement of medicine or pooled procurement of equipment, to sharing training, to having centers of excellence in different islands. Working together as one, we can become giants.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Tobago, are you ready to celebrate culture, color, and creativity? Then make Heritage Haven books and things your first stop this Heritage Festival. Step into a world of vibrant African wear, handcrafted accessories, unique gifts, local authors, and inspiring books for every age. Whether you're dressing for the festivities or searching for something special, Heritage Haven has something just for you. Heritage Haven books and things where culture comes alive. Visit us today at the Scarborough Esplanade and discover treasures. Celebrate culture where read it, live it.
From the reef to the road.
From the reef to the road.
From the reef to the road. Tobago calling. Sweet wine, everybody falling. We bring the culture straight to you. Tobago updates, we keeping it true.
Oh gosh, Tobago updates. On the screen, here we go. You're home for October, carnival show. From the big stage shine to the road line. We bring Tobago to the world in real time.
Tobago updates. Tobago updates. Carnival 2026. We said the pace. Wave your flag. Anywhere you're there.
Anywhere.
Island love trimming all around you. Big lock on for the rhythm start.
Tobago updates. Caribbean art. Tobago updates.
Good morning, Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been chatting with Curtis Williams, who is in charge of the Tobago division of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce. Good morning and welcome back, Mr. Williams. So we're talking about that foreign direct investment as a means of balancing off the shortage of forex in Trinidad and Tobago. And there's that obligation of businesses to also on their part go out and seek those partnerships, seek those relationships. But then there's the role of the chamber to help persons understand the use of equity financing, debt financing, and other financing options like putting their businesses on the stock market, going public, and providing those resources for persons to maneuver different channels to increasing their revenue generation capacity every year. Talk to us about the direction that the chamber is going in, particularly in Tobago as it pertains to providing those capacity building initiatives.
And I'm happy to hear you saying something like that. We are overwhelmed in Tobago. We want to have one of the Tobago first indigenous company to be on the stock exchange. It's something that we spoke about at the chamber level. In Trinidad as well, we spoke about getting a Tobago company on the stock exchange. So I'm looking forward to working with any entities on the island, bringing them up to scratch, because getting listed on the local stock exchange as an SME is not an easy thing. You have to make sure that everything is okay with you. You have to tick all the boxes. And we're looking forward to that when we're going to have the first Tobago company to be listed on the stock exchange. And that will really augurs well for us here in Tobago, and even those who want to partner and invest, even to get foreign investment coming in. It's something that we always look forward to. Because it's not an easy thing doing business in the space that we are. We are only 60,000 people, and how much companies can you have in this set space? So you are always set back as to a company in Trinidad who have 1.4 million people plus. So what we started to indicate to folks is that you will have to start put your business online, and let's seek the online audience, which is a much more audience. But putting your business online, and it entails a lot, and we come right back to the Forex issues. Getting your business online, it takes a lot. You have to buy all these licenses, you have to pay for all these things. Most of them are in US, and that could be a bit of challenge as well too. So it's all around. The Forex becomes a big issue, it's a massive issue. Yes, we're seeking direct investment. What we're looking at now is to make partnership. We are telling companies, for instance, companies who are going to bid for government projects, we're telling you to forge relationships with others, because you might not have the capacity by yourself. So I may have, my expertise might be into finance, and somebody's expertise might be in some aspects of operation. And if we forge together to get some of these projects, because of my finance background, may help you in your operation, and vice versa. I may be strong in operation and you strong in finance, and that's the reason why we calling on companies to merge, to do mergers, and I mean, this always happens throughout the world. When sometimes companies go in and take on huge projects, they don't have the local capacity, and they always do mergers and joint ventures to treat with these issues going forward. Because as I indicated, Tobago business might not have all the scope and all the weight. It's all, you might even have some of the technical capacity that the project may entail. And hence the reason why you can forge a relationship with foreign partners, with partners overseas, whether it's Trinidad or up the region, and you can really make that business or that project worthwhile doing. So it's something that we're looking at, Chanel. We never stop looking at it. And as I indicated, we started our series of business, TBAS we call it, Tobago Business Advisory Services, where we was educating our business and getting ready throughout Tobago. So we started that whole process, the programs, and then will be launched. Some of them will launch already, but we're going to get some of them going as quickly as this month. And those programs will be there on our online. So the chamber could, we're giving back to Tobago much needed expertise and skill set that you need to push to boost your business. And that's what we're doing here at the division, and we are pushing a lot. So when you're talking about dealing with external partners, we have done it all in the chamber. Our sister, our bigger brother in Trinidad have been doing it all the time, and we have the necessary skills. So you with your small company, sure, we could make you get that gateway to the bigger outside, whether it's Trinidad market or the regional market, because scaling up is a hell of a thing. And we always say, try and see if you could fill your domestic market first before you try to fill any other market. So before we're thinking about regional and international, let's look at our local market. What happened to our local market? We could fill, because your capacity could just be for the local market. Because I think that there's so much consumption in Trinidad that they may take all your product up. So hence the reason why we're asking those SMEs to come and have conversation with us. We have the way-it-all, we have some of the expertise in-house, and we can assist you in moving your business to the next stage.
Understood. Well, we want to thank you so much for being here with us this morning, Mr. Williams. And we look forward to all those activities, and we truly hope that it will play a part in boosting the capacity of the private sector here on the island of Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago on a whole, and helping them come up with mechanisms to deal with this Forex shortage. Again, we want to thank you for being here, and we look forward to always having these conversations with you. So we know that we're going to see you again pretty soon, probably after that official opening of the airport. We're going to come back in and chat a bit about that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back with much more conversation on what's happening during the Tobago Heritage Festival right here on Tobago Updates. See you soon.
Are you ready to celebrate culture, color, and creativity? Then make Heritage Haven books and things your first stop this Heritage Festival. Step into a world of vibrant African wear, handcrafted accessories, unique gifts, local authors, and inspiring books for every age. Whether you're dressing for the festivities or searching for something special, Heritage Haven has something just for you. Heritage Haven books and things where culture comes alive. Visit us today at the Scarborough Esplanade and discover treasures. Celebrate culture where Read it, live it.
And I have never, ever tried anything from the dirt oven. Let's go to the backyard dirt oven on a Thursday. Here now, talk about authentic. On entry, I felt at home. I felt like I was going to visit my loving grandmother on a weekend. The kind of weekend where she showers you with love, stories, and food. This place is a home away from home. And just like I would do at home, I pop the question, what you had to eat day? And boom, coconut drops. Boom, bread. Boom, garlic bread, boom, hops, boom, coconut tart, boom, jam tart, and boom, something they call nuts. And just like that, Mistress Baker was ready to pop them in the oven. And don't worry, she had some help. And while we was waiting, I said, let me hear from Mistress Baker herself.
Well, we've been operating for a couple of years now. We started, this was a COVID project. We operate strictly on Tuesdays. Tuesdays only. You don't keep stock. We only sell on Tuesdays.
Such a sweet lady. Hey, Olia, it's ready. When last you see a nice golden brown bread, sir? Backyard bakery for the win. Olia, a GT. I finally get me the oven bread with a little extra goodies on the side. You might be asking, where they located? They are located on Bukuru, right on Nightingale Avenue, right before Racetrack Wheels if you're coming from town. Just look for the green hedge. You can't miss it. Pause. Check out the menu day one time. Honestly, guys, this is an experience I will never forget. It's a home away from home, a place filled with love, life, and most importantly, good bread.
Coming up, Barbados kicks off festival season with Crop Over, where you can live like a local. Moments of discovery and joy during Culinary Month in Antigua and Barbuda. Find that hero within you. As these women of vision share their stories of success, Caribbean Passport TV, your guide to what's happening in the region, here on this station.
As small Caribbean islands, we do need to remember that we can't do it individually. The Caribbean needs to work as a whole. From something as simple as pool procurement of medicine or pool procurement of equipment, to sharing training, to having centers of excellence in different islands. Working together as one, we can become giants.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
From the reef to the road. From the reef to the road. From the reef to the road. Tobago calling. Sweet vibes, sweet wine, everybody falling. We bring the culture straight to you. Tobago updates, we keeping it true.
Oh gosh, Tobago updates. On the screen, here we go. You're home for October, can't even show. From the big station to the whole line, we bring Tobago to the world in real time.
Tobago updates. Tobago updates. Carnival 2026. We said the pace. Wave your flag. Anywhere you're there. Anywhere. Island love trimming all around you. Big long on to the rhythm start.
Tobago updates, Caribbean art.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Nice.
If I have to call a supervisor one more time to sign off on a customer because their financials are in a mess, I will scream.
Don't scream in a bank. That have lock up in it.
It's either they're not registered properly, or you know what? We could just forget about annual returns, right?
Compliance is a bad word to most of them. All your compliance out of here. But let me eat.
What is wrong with Trinbagonians? I mean, it has so much help they could get out there.
Well, you know, Trinis, we don't like to spend we money.
But you know what? Be comfortable with losing we money. That make it any financial
What people should do is call Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago.
Wait, what? Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago Tax and Accounting Services. Yeah, they offer helping from registering your business to filing your tax. My lunch is over.
Wait, tell me more.
No, go and scream in the bank. You go and scream in the bank.
No, I don't get one sooner.
Good morning, Tobago, right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we are chatting with a woman from the Mariah Heritage Group, right? And this morning I'm here in studio and chatting with Miss Crystal Solomon, who is the vice chair, as well as Daniel Jacob Charles, who is the treasurer of the organization. And you guys have been a part of the Tobago Heritage Calendar from its inception. And you have one of those events that are high on the agenda when it comes to the Tobago Heritage Festival. You know, we have those ones that are a little bit favored than others, and I don't want to go too much into that to get anybody jealous this morning, but we're talking about the Mariah Old Time Wedding. And this year, it's a bridal affair, and, you know, love made her ours. Good morning and welcome.
Pleasant good morning.
Pleasant good morning.
Right, tell us a bit about the storyline this year. We know that this year, the Tobago Heritage Festival is moving towards a theme of let we tell the whole story. Yes. Tell us a bit about the production and how it feeds into that overall theme.
All right, so pleasant morning again. So for the Mariah Old Time Wedding production 2026, as you would have seen, our production is called Love Made Her Ours. Based on the theme, which is let we tell the whole story, we decided that we are going to reintroduce the bridal affair to the old time wedding. The bridal affair was something that used to be displayed in the wedding long ago, and it stopped. But seeing as the theme requested that we tell the whole story, we decided we are going to tell that story again this year. The bridal affair this year will start at 11 a.m. It's where the bride is being prepared. So, you know, before any wedding, be it old-time wedding, traditional wedding, preparation will take place the morning of. But in the old-time wedding, the preparation was a bit different. On that morning, you will have Granny, Auntie, Nenen at the home of the bride or the home of a relative, and they would prepare the bride not just in clothing, but in words.
Right.
Yes. So on that morning, although she was trained to do certain things will be reiterated on that morning. So all about her being, say, well, girl, you have to know how to keep house. Remember how to keep house. They wouldn't say train, we learn you well.
Right.
Right? And it will be for her to cook. She had to know how to make a ton of good cocoa. Whether it be a cornmeal cocoa or a concote, that is the cassava cocoa. Make a nice roku fish and some pong plantain and a little tom-tom.
Right.
Because after all, a way to a man's heart is the belly. Also, she have to be able to wash. So when she go to wash clothes now, you have to know, long time didn't have machine.
Right.
So she have to know to go down by that water stone and beat them dungaree.
Right.
So when she beat them dungaree now, we didn't have scrubbing brush long time, it's corn stick. So you know after you eat off all the corn and you get this stick to scrub.
Okay.
Right? So you could imagine yourself now doing that, scrubbing your clothes with a corn stick.
I mean, I think my era, the closest I come to that is the sink with the...
Yes, the sink, but you see now you have the sink with the joking board.
Right.
Yes. Right. So long time they had the actual joking board, a board itself. So you would have to sit with your board and scrub. So she have her joking board, her corn stick, and she has to beat them dungaree down by the water stone. After all of that, she has to starch her husband pants and starch his clothes. So when she get the coal pot iron, it's not the modern iron we plugging in. She have to get her coal pot with the iron, heat it up, and iron her husband clothes.
Right. And Crystal, tell us a bit about the connectivity between what was and what is, and how does this become interesting for the modern woman to even want to go and listen? Because I'm here sitting listening to you, and okay. You know, so let's talk about a bit about that. We live in a different time,
yes,
but still we want it to be interesting enough for young persons to come out and support the Heritage Festival, be a part of it, and not necessarily institute or implement, but just understand what used to be.
Yes, what used to be, the women of long ago was hard-working women, well domesticated. And you know, us modern women, the way how we juggle our lives now, being heavily domesticated in that aspect is kind of hard.
Right.
Because you can't tell me, and I know somebody cannot, if you meet a gentleman now, he can come and tell you to go by the water stone to beat your dungaree.
Right.
And wash his jeans, his nice Levi's and all these things. So the connection there, it is good to know where the modern woman, where she is now, and where women of long ago, where they have come from. Because trust and believe we have come from far.
Right. And Danielle, tell us a bit about the event, the time, the date, the location, and how persons can get their ticket if they have to come on the day and buy tickets. Can they get their tickets before the actual event, the price of the tickets? Let's talk about that.
Well, let's talk about the bridal affair, right? So the bridal affair will start at 11 a.m. The venue is at the Hardest Hard Recreation Club, right? And what we are offering there, as Crystal would have explained, right? The guidance that was given by her family members. Right? So we are inviting the public to be a part of it. And you are not just coming to listen to what they are saying. You are coming to even participate. Right? And as we would have indicated, when you go to a wedding where the bride is getting dressed and food is cooked, you get the first taste. Right? So you're gonna taste the food before it actually go out to the ceremony.
That's right.
Right? So you get piece of the pork, piece of the goat, chicken, right? The cocoa that is scraped out from the pot. So you might even be able to scrape a piece of the cocoa from the pot. So we want people to get that experience.
Cake and wine.
So you are going to get your food, cake and wine. You're going to get a first taste. Yes, we have the venue where we are going to have the cake and wine, but you are going to taste piece of the cake before anyone else, right? So you're not just coming to sit and listen.
Right.
Right?
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you ladies so much for being here. We look forward to the Mariah Old Time Wedding. Crystal, is there anything that you want to say to our audience before we leave, especially pertaining to the theme for this year, Love Made Her Ours?
Yes, Love Made Her Ours. And we are going to tell the whole story how love made her ours. Also, not forgetting the bridal affair. The tickets can be obtained from committee members as well as Miss Susie's Shop in Mariah, Bijou de Mo Tobago in Camby. All those tickets, the phone numbers are provided on the flyer, so you can call and get those. And don't forget, after the bridal affair, we have the ceremony at the church, we have the cake and wine sector, and then we have the reception at the field on Saturday, July 18, 2026. The Mariah Village will come alive with a nice traditional Tobago old-time wedding.
Excellent. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for being here, guys. You can't miss this year's old-time wedding happening in Mariah, one of the top events on the Tobago Heritage calendar of events. And don't forget that tomorrow evening, promptly at 7 p.m., you have the launch of the actual gala, the opening night of the Heritage Festival. So you want to be a part of that at the Shore Park Complex as well. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this morning we want to thank you so much for being a part of our discussions. We want to thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Chanel Felix, and have a productive day.